Alright, I'm here with a brand new pickup video going over my recent finds. I've been saying it for a while now. You guys are probably sick of it. Garage sales have been slow. That's okay though. Got some cool stuff here. Did go out garage selling though, and I'll start with that stuff first. Didn't get a whole lot these last couple of weeks. Pretty much the entire month of September was a bust, which usually garage sales will go till about, at the furthest, they'll go to maybe the first week of November, but usually like the second week of October. It's about done. I've now found kind of a yearly thing I'd like to start doing. There is a big community sale about 35, 40 minutes away from me that I hit last year. It is the first week of October, and I hit it this year. I did great last year, and I'd like to maybe make this a yearly thing when I can swing it, because it kind of would be a great way to cap off the garage sale season with a big final community sale. When I was there last year, I hit about 100 sales. I hit about 80 this year. I had out there with a friend this year. Hit about 80 to maybe close to 100. I don't know. It's hard to count when you're just hitting so many of them. Hit a lot of them. And you'd think if I hit a lot of them, I'd get a lot of stuff. That's what happened last year. I did not. Only got 5 games at this whole place. First sale I went to had some Xbox One games. $5 each. Nothing really amazing, but I picked up a few. Transformers Rise of Darkspark. This one will be just for flipping. It's about a $25 game. Some of the Transformers games hold some decent value. A lot of weird Activision licensed games hold some weird value for some reason. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on like PS4 and Xbox One is another one from Activision from that kind of weird era. That holds some decent value to look out for. And that one does pretty well as well. So there's that. And then I also picked this one up. This one I'll be putting in my own collection. I've heard this one is pretty good. Alien Isolation. I've heard this is one of the better horror games of the last generation. So for $5, I figured I would pick this up and add it to my own collection. I'd like to try that one out at some point. So $10 there. Did go to another sale then. Almost missed it, but ended up finding a whole little street that had probably about 6 sales back there as well. And this one had some Genesis games in a box mixed in with like DVDs. These were $3 each. There was nothing too amazing, except there was one pretty good one in here. Unfortunately, which one is it? There was Sonic 2. So I checked if the cartridge was in the other games, but it was, and I didn't look at this one. So it was missing cartridge, but it did have Toe Jam and Earl manual, which is nice to have. Complete Sonic 2 without the game in a pretty nice case, and then an extra manual for a good game. Probably still worth $3 to me, but kind of a bummer there. Not the end of the world. Sonic the Hedgehog as well was there. And then interestingly enough, Mercs was also there. This is about a $40 game. I have this one. I don't know if this one's going to be nicer than mine, but you can see $3 here. Might as well. I did actually leave a couple behind. Some sports games I didn't want for $3. I could have probably asked for $15 for all 3, but what's the point in getting more sports games that I don't want? So that was that garage sale. I did jump ahead a little bit. So that was, a good time. I had a good time. Even if I didn't get a lot. There was just a ton of sales out there. Kind of an interesting thing, though, because usually when I go to community sale and I don't get anything, it's because everyone was old. And it's just wouldn't even know what a video game is. But that wasn't really the case out here. Just didn't find anything. Oops. So then I went to a sale about the week prior. This sale had a pretty good-looking Wii bundle in their Facebook Marketplace listing, so I figured I'd go out. It was a Thursday morning. It was the only sale that was listed for that Thursday morning, so I woke up just to go to this sale. And when I got there, I kind of looked around. I asked about video games, and I saw you had a Wii or something, and they're like, oh, that already sold to someone like yesterday who messaged us about it. So I'm like, that's pretty annoying. But then I just randomly found this, I guess, is a prime example. This was an older couple. They were in their 70s for sure. This is a prime example of why when you're buying games from someone, you ask if they have other video games. I guess it's not the most prime example, but I see they're sitting an NES just sitting there. an NES was on their table, just out at this garage sale. So I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. They wanted $25 for it, and I kind of just walked away. I was like, there's one game with it, Kings of the Beach, which when I was going to log this into my price charting library, it is worth like $1.04 or something like that. So not the most interesting. I also had a zapper with it, which I just dropped on the floor. You heard that earlier. The orange zapper. And some manuals as well, which is probably actually the most interesting part. I don't really like getting NES systems. I don't really try to flip them. I just trade them to my local game store because they're just too much of a hassle with eBay. They're very return risky because a lot of people don't really know how to use them right. So it's just a lot of returns. I just trade them off. I probably actually get about, my game store has some weird console prices, so I'd probably get about what I, would get on eBay, give or take after fees and shipping in credit, so I can't complain too much. But manuals, off track there. NES Open Tournament Golf, which I didn't know why this has like a Super Nintendo sized manual, because most manuals are like this size, so kind of interesting. I've never seen a NES manual that's like full sized, but yeah, Mario Duck Hunt, as you saw, the Super Spike V-Ball manual, Romstar Magic Darts, as well as a poster for Romstar Magic Darts. I don't know where any of these games were. This one wouldn't have been bad to get either. Gremlins 2, the new batch, that would not have been bad to have here. I'm not sure where any of the other games, but I got Kings of the Beach. Don't know why. Also, I've never seen this before. Someone in the comments let me know. Something interesting to me about NES collecting more so than anything is like there's weird accessories that, because they were like regional or they were only sold in like one store like regionally, a lot of people, like, not all the NES accessories are like quite documented yet. And I'm not saying that this isn't, but I've never once seen this before. So if anyone knows of anything about this, this is Power Grip. So it's like just a grip you put around the NES controller. If anyone's ever seen this before, let me know, because I have never seen the Power Grip before. It's just two little pieces of plastic. So not really an accessory, but interesting nonetheless. I just never seen it before. And I always do find that fascinating with NES accessories, because a lot of people are still finding like weird accessories that were only sold in like Nebraska or something. So pretty cool there. Got some neat clearance stuff. So I went to Kohl's. I was just there clothes shopping, getting some dress pants. And you don't need to know that. And I walked by their electronics stuff, which is pretty sad state. They usually just have some of the PS4, like, greatest hits games. They had like 10 million copies of the Nathan Drake collection. Whatever. But I noticed that they had this here, sealed, Pokemon Moon. And as you can see, they had it clearance down to $10. So I picked that up. Actually, what I'm going to do with how Pokemon stuff is so weird, especially with sealed, I have Pokemon Moon sealed actually for my collection already. Or maybe I have Sun. I have one of either Sun or Moon sealed already. I'm just going to hang on to this and see what it does. No really harm in it. I have $10 into it. So that was kind of interesting. And what was interesting, I guess I didn't mention, was that I went there on the 16th, I remember, to buy this. And they put it out and clearanced it at the 10th. So it sat there for like 6 days. In a pretty populated, Kohl's in a pretty populated area. So I'm kind of surprised that no one picked that up. No one must have found that. Check your local Kohl's electronics sections, because every once in a while they do actually have some interesting clearance stuff. Not very commonly, but every once in a while. So, and then I got a Walmart clearance here. You might want to check your local Walmart if you're interested in this game as well. They had Bravely Default 2 for $30, which is half price of the retail going for rate. It looked like they were just completely clearancing out this game because they had a ton of copies of this at $30. So I can't confirm obviously for every Walmart, but my local one had it for $30. Might want to check yours as well. I know people use BrickSeek and stuff like that. So just a heads up there. So the Pittsburgh used to be the Pittsburgh Retro Gaming Expo. I can't talk, guys. It used to be the Pittsburgh Retro Gaming Expo. It is now the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo. It shouldn't have been that hard to say that sentence. Happened. I went to it. It was a good show. last time I went to Pittsburgh Retro Gaming Expo was 2017. I believe they're the same convention. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone knows. Went in 2017. I wasn't crazy about it. It was a little bit too crowded. They had it in like a hotel, and it was just way too crowded, and I just wasn't thrilled with it. Pittsburgh's only about a little over 2 hours away from me, so it wasn't a big deal. And they had it in a convention center. It was a lot bigger. It was still a little bit crowded, but it was a good show all around. A little pricey, I will say. I believe the Cleveland Classic Arcade Gaming and Retro show that I go to pretty much every year, I think it's only $10. It might be $15, but it's much bigger. I think it's a much better show. And this one was $20, so it's a little steep for what it was. But I feel like they're on the right track with this show. I think it's was a good time. Although I did not buy too much there. I just didn't really see anything that was too interesting to me. And I came with a lot of money because we're going to story time again. I'll try to keep it quick. I came with a lot of money. I went, well, not a lot of money, you know. I had a ton of stuff stacked up. Stuff I couldn't sell on eBay. Stuff that my local game store passed up. Gaming stuff that was just piling up. And so I put it on Facebook Marketplace like 2 months ago. And just wanted to see, you know, what would happen. I just kind of fielded offers and just said, please make offers. I'll take the best one. And within like 30 minutes, I had already been replying to like 50 people. Finally, I made an offer. I settled an offer for a guy for $500. So I had $500 kind of just sitting around thinking, next convention I go to, next, you know, whatever, I'll use this as just some fun money because it's just, you know, kind of extra money come by stuff that I have nothing into. So did that whole deal with that guy. Cool guy. So I kind of came with this with the, you know, I was ready to lay down some money on some good stuff. And just some of this stuff was a little overpriced, which is sometimes the case with conventions, although it really shouldn't be. Since we're doing cash deals here, we're not, you know, on eBay or anything. But I did actually get a pretty good one here. Not a good game, but this is actually, I've been looking for Dreamcast games now for a while. Almost, you know, I think I've been trying to do the whole set now since 2014. So about 7 years. I've never once seen Sports Jam. So they had it at $30. It's a little bit under retail, pretty decent deal. I've never once seen this game. This is one of the rarer Dreamcast games, and I've never once seen it. So very happy to pick that one up. Another one off the list. I'm getting close to the end. But that's all I got at the show. It wasn't a bad show. I liked it, but just didn't find anything that was really too interesting for me. But I did go to some of the local game stores around Pittsburgh and made a pretty big purchase. So this is one of the stores that's within the chain that I go to around here. And I have a ton of trade credit saved up there. So when I saw these two games in their good section, I pretty much knew that I had to snap them up with my trade credit. And I sure did. So these are in really great shape. They're complete. I mean, they have some minor wear, but they are complete. And I got the Fire Emblem GBA games. CIB. So, unless I'm mistaken, I have all the Fire Emblem games that released in North America now, complete in box in my collection. Because I have Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn and the 3DS games and the Switch game and everything. So, and Shadow Dragon. So, I don't think I'm missing any more for the North American collection, at least. I paid $4.50 in trade credit. A little bit over what Price Charts has it at, but when I looked at eBay solds, they were pretty comparable to what eBay had it for. And I just figured I've seen these complete in box once before that I passed up for, I think they were like $80 each. And I'm really kicking myself for that, but live and learn. That was probably in 2017 or so, 2016. So I figured I don't ever see these. I have the trade credit ready to go. I'm going to bite the bullet on these and just pick these up because I've never played either of these ones either. I haven't played either of the GBA Fire Emblem games, so that will be exciting to jump into eventually. They're on the list now. But very cool. Was happy with the condition, and with trade credit, I really do count that stuff as almost free because it is just, I buy it at the garage sale. I buy stuff at the garage sales, whatever can't be sold from lots or whatever goes straight into eBay. You know, every once in a while I'll do have like an NES system or something that I paid $15 for that got traded in, but you know, that's just how it is sometimes. So that's how you got to do it sometimes to get good deals and to get the higher end stuff. But that's it for this pickup video. A really rambly one. I don't know. If anyone watched to the end, I salute you. Please leave a comment. But leave a comment anyway with what you've picked up lately. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're already subscribed. Follow me on Twitter at ObjoGaming. And until next time, I'd like to thank you for watching.